Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here, and holy shit, here we are. The series finale of Season 7 of this channel, the final two videos of 2024. Another year has come and gone, and what a year it's been. Yeah, this one, this is a rough one. I'm not even gonna front with you guys. If there was ever a year to be described as a roller coaster, I would charitably say 2024 is exactly that. A lot of mental stresses, a lot of emotional stresses. It seems like for every, positive moment or step forward, there have been like two more negative steps backward. But I don't want to act like nothing good happened this year, and this year was truly filled with a lot of super memorable and life-changing aspects. Me and Anne finally got engaged. I brought my friends from Florida down here to see more of the city, which was a lot of fun. I randomly met George Lucas at work, which was pretty insane. And then God, just in terms of this channel, like the level of growth and consistency for my channels this year have been probably some of the highest that they've ever been. I mean, for one, I breathed new life into my main channel with some new Lego videos, which was a lot of fun. I'm glad to have finally gotten to do some new stuff for that channel. And then for the review channel, not only have we reached and surpassed 500 subscribers, which I know doesn't sound like much, but to me that's insane. So seriously, thank you guys so much. But I've genuinely made, honestly, I think some of my best videos this year. Like, I'm really proud of a lot of the stuff that I've made this year, and I'm even more grateful and honored that you guys are there to watch and, give me your attention and your feedback and everything like that. It means the world to me. It really does. But as we reach the end of yet another year, it's time to honor our annual tradition by taking a look at some of this year's best and worst. The top 10 best and worst movies of 2024. Now, for all the new subscribers here, just a quick housekeeping thing. If you haven't already, check out the playlist that has all of the top 10 best and worst videos from the previous years. But real quickly, going over the rules, this is not the scientifically accurate best and worst list. Your list may be different from my list. Feel free to leave your list down in the comments. I always love going through and reading you guys' top 10s and comparing which ones we have and which ones are different and everything like that. Also, I did not get a chance to see every single thing that came out this year. There's definitely a lot that I'm really disappointed that to have missed, but for either of these lists, if you think there's something that should have been on here or shouldn't have been, and you want to give me some recommendations of what I can catch up on, leave them in the comments below as well. With each of these lists, I like to include one honorable mention just so it's an unofficial top 11 list. So with that being said, the honorable mention for worst of 2024 is Civil War. This one might be a controversial entry, and I can't even call it bad necessarily. The cinematography is very striking, and the acting across the board is really solid, but the movie felt very empty and substanceless. It didn't really offer up any position on things, probably out of fear of the Twitter mob. The characters are mostly one note, the world building was very hollow, and honestly, I left this movie probably more annoyed than I would have had the movie just been super preachy and obnoxious. Alright, now that all that stuff is out of the way, here we go. These are the top 10 worst movies of 2024.
Cue the fucking montage, baby.
Sometimes I think I wanna better myself, searching for acceptance in this big wide world. Sometimes I think I want naked, playing a rock and roll band. Sometimes I wanna be a picture director. I'm trying to make the world understand by making groovy movies.
Despicable Me 4. more. Memes aside, can we please be done with this series? I understand that this is Illumination's moneymaker, but it's clear they are running out of shit to do with it. There are some semi-decent ideas here, but they aren't fleshed out enough. There's way too much going on, none of the plots flow together, and it feels like several episodes of a Despicable Me TV series clunkily stitched together. It wasn't funny, ironically or unironically. It was really boring, and it just felt completely pointless. Again, I really hope they end it here, because it just— oh, what's that? It's the third highest grossing movie of the year? Huh, well, fuck me, I guess. Ryan's World the Movie, Titan Universe Adventure. Yeah, I know this is low-hanging fruit, but shut up, I'm hungry. I honestly just feel bad for this kid more than anything. Everyone else who started in the same niche as him have gotten to grow up, have a normal life, and mature with their content, while Ryan's criminal parents have kept him on a leash and are forcing him to churn out garbage like this. I think the day that Ryan's tell-all docuseries releases on YouTube will be the day the entire internet waits for with bated breath. But for now, I guess we gotta put up with this bullshit for a bit longer. Taking the drama out of it, the movie itself is just really bad. I fully acknowledge that it's not made for me, but even if that's the case, that doesn't excuse it from being objectively terrible. The live action segments are cheap and cringe with terrible acting and effects. The animation is alright, but still looks very cheap. And all in all, it's just embarrassing for all parties involved. Hang in there, Ryan. You'll be free soon. Harold and the Purple Crayon. This one is absolutely infuriating. How are you gonna make a Harold and the Purple Crayon movie with an animated intro that actually looks really good, but then have the rest of it be a live-action fish out of water story? Fuck off with that shit. I get it, animation is expensive and time-consuming. Then just don't have it in there at all. I mean, it'd still suck, but at least you wouldn't be spitting in my face showing me what we could have gotten. The movie itself is every early to mid-2000s adaptation of a kid's book or show you've ever seen. The story is stock, the effects are trash, the comedy is grating, and the acting is awful. Zachary Levi needs to fire his agent at this point because he's just been in miss after miss. On the plus side though, at least I got a free coloring poster and a box of crayons. That was a nice addition. Wish it was for a better movie though. Tarot. So much of this movie has evaporated from my memory that I'm struggling to even think of what to say about it. Outside of Jacob Batalon, the actors were all boring, the story was stupid, the kills weren't even that impressive, and it was just such a nothing movie. We had a lot of in one ear, out the other horror movies this year, and this just happened to be one of them. Yeah, I got nothing else. Next movie. The Crow. I really gotta watch the original at some point. I went into this expecting a hilarious so bad it's good movie, and I didn't even get that. Half of this movie was a tedious love story where the two leads have zero chemistry, and the other half is a tired revenge story with shoddy pacing and lame action. They don't get you to care about anything that's going on, they aren't doing anything interesting with the visuals. The movie wastes so much time getting you to the point to where he becomes the Crow, and when he does, it's so underwhelming. There was occasionally a funny line delivery from Skarsgård, but honestly, the funniest part about this movie was how hard it flopped. Borderlands. Speaking of hilarious flops, this movie feels displaced in time. This seems like something that would have come out in the early to mid-90s, where video game movies were destined to be complete disasters. I went into this expecting either a fun Guardians of the Galaxy-esque adventure or a hilariously misguided train wreck, and I was still disappointed. This movie was a slog. It felt like it went on forever. The writing is so stilted and filled with clunky exposition. The actors have no chemistry. The effects and green screens are embarrassingly bad. And it's so baffling how even the people involved with the game couldn't make this work. I'm sure this is gonna make a lot of worst of the year lists, and for good reason. But these next 4 movies are far, far worse.
but make it movie, movie.
Madam Web. A moment of silence for the Sony Spider-Man universe. Okay, that's enough. Of the final 3 SSU films that we got this year, this is easily the worst. The story is a hot mess. The acting was literally phoned in with how much bad ADR is in it. The editing is nauseating, the direction is inhuman, and the movie tricked us into thinking we were getting cool scenes of Spider-Women when all of it was just a flashback and shown in the trailer. This is such a hot mess that it's honestly kind of amazing. Morbius is still probably worse, but it was mostly just boring. Madam Web was a lot of things, but boring was not one of them. While a sadistic part of me hopes Sony revives this universe so we can see more awful memes like this, I am relieved that they can finally shift their focus on making good Spider-Man projects. Hopefully. Please don't fuck these up.
But make it movie, movie.
Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Steven Hillenburg is rolling in his grave. This clip of SpongeBob sniffing a pile of shit is honestly the perfect visual to describe this movie. This movie had the easiest job in the world. Sandy is already a cool and interesting character, and getting into more of her background could be neat, and they completely butchered it. The story is generic, the characters are obnoxious, the animation isn't terrible, but combined with the live action, looks like ass. And especially after watching the far superior Plankton movie, it's an even bigger insult. This movie dropped on the deck and flopped like a fish, but not in a good way.
But make it movie, movie.
Mean Girls 2024. I don't have a strong connection to the 2004 film, and I've never seen the stage version of this, so I had no idea what to expect going into this movie. And it was somehow worse than I expected. It set the tone immediately by having a terrible green-screened backdrop of Africa, and our lead actress being horribly auto-tuned. And the movie only got more annoying the longer it went on. The songs were all terrible, the singing, with the exception of Renee Rapp, sounded like shit. The staging for a lot of it felt clunky and awkward. And overall, it was unfunny, obnoxious, and not as mean or catty as the 2004 film, which made it less fun. Who knows, maybe some of this stuff plays better on stage than it does in a movie. But personally, I'm putting this shit in my burn book.
But make it movie, movie.
Not another church movie. Those of you who have been subscribed for a while will know I put Madea Family Funeral as the worst movie of 2019. But you know what's worse than an unfunny, obnoxious comedy? An unfunny, obnoxious parody of an unfunny, obnoxious comedy. This is like the singularity of bad movies. Prolonged exposure could do permanent damage if the proper precautions aren't taken. I struggle to even call this a movie. At least Madea had a structure to it and followed a coherent narrative. This is just a series of random vignettes loosely tied together into somewhat of a plot. I felt like if I looked away for even a second, I would have no fucking clue what was happening. Mickey Rourke and Jamie Foxx are completely wasted. The special effects are so bad they make my Deadpool video look like an actual Marvel movie. The humor is grating, the acting is terrible. I mean, just look at this. How could this not be number one? This year was full of stinkers, but I can say with full confidence, Not Another Church Movie is the worst movie of 2024. Whew, alright, and there we go. 10 movies down, 10 more to go. What did you think of my list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some of your least favorite movies that came out of this year? Let me know all that stuff down below. I'll be back very soon with the top 10 best of the year, but until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel, everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.
I don't want